Welcome to Big Grandmother's Adventure. Today is day 12 of our Alaska road trip. We just kind of finished packing up the trailer and are ready to head to our next stop, which is going to be the Rocky Mountain Lodge and RV Park in Muncho Lake, British Columbia. We're going to stay there for 2 nights so we can take a little side trip to the Liard Hot Springs, and then we'll be heading on to Alaska after that. The first thing we're going to do this morning is get some breakfast, and I am going to introduce these three to something uniquely Canadian. Well, mostly uniquely Canadian. I think they have started expanding into the U.S. Along some border states, mostly in New York. And that being Tim Hortons. They get some donuts and coffee. You guys excited to try Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go get some Tim Hortons and then come back and hook up the truck, or we'll hit the road. So, what did you guys think of Canadian Dunkin' Donuts?
It was really good. Say better.
You think coffee was better?
Well, I kind of mixed on the coffee. I wish that their menu would stay on the coffee section more so that I could actually see. It kept changing.
Yeah, I
And,
was
like,
rotating through there. It
so
was
I
hard
had
to
to,
see
like,
some of the options.
feel like-
the way they had this one set up.
Yeah, taking forever just to try to figure out what I want for coffee because I couldn't see everything. So I just got that French vanilla iced latte. I feel like it could use some more flavor in it
Oh,
for me. Otherwise, it's fine.
I don't think so.
you don't think so? Yours is good.
Iced cap.
Oreo ice
You got the everything for Rangers lemon.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee, so I won't comment on that. And if you're watching from Canada, I'm sorry. That was Tim Hortons, not Canadian Dunkin' Donuts. Fun fact, Tim Hortons, is named for a famous Canadian hockey player who actually spent some time playing for an American team.
Oh.
He played for the Buffalo Sabres out of Buffalo, New York, and there is a statue. I have seen the statue of Tim Horton in Buffalo, New York. All right.
Where's
Well,
our statue?
I don't remember why there's a statue of him in Buffalo. I mean, he was a very good hockey player. He was on that team for a while, and yeah, probably. A really, really long time ago, he was played hockey. Tim Hortons celebrating 60 years, so not nearly as old as Dunkin' Donuts. Tim Hortons was founded in 1964. Dunkin' Donuts, our most popular one in the U.S., was founded in 1948. Although, I wish Krispy Kreme was still more of a thing. I always thought those were better than Dunkin' Donuts. But that's about enough about donuts and Tim Hortons. Let's get back to the campground, get everything hooked up, and continue heading on towards Alaska. Just stopped for a bathroom break and to top off the gas in Wannawan, British Columbia. We saw an ambulance a little over half hour ago, and then shortly after, there was a digital sign across the highway saying that the Alaska Highway is closed due to an accident. Where?
North of Pink Mountain.
North of Pink Mountain.
It's called
The Sekani Chief Road there.
Yeah.
And then a little while after that, we saw a fire truck. So it must have been a pretty bad accident to have ambulance and fire truck out there. They were headed back towards Fort St. John, which was quite a ways back, but there's really nothing between here and there. Yeah. So hopefully everybody's okay. I mean, obviously somebody must have been injured for the ambulance to be going with its lights on back that direction. But hope they make it out okay. It says the next update for whether the roads open back up or not isn't for another 2 hours till noon. But it is 92 kilometers or about 57 miles north of where we're at now. So we're going to continue north and hope that there's an update or the road's open before we get there. If it's not, actually we'll probably either way stop at Pink Mountain. I think the road is closed like at Pink Mountain. So we'll stop in Pink Mountain and probably have to wait it out if they're still cleaning up the wreckage. But let's get back on the road. Come to a long line of vehicles that are stopped, so we must be up close to, actually it looks like we are pretty close to the accident site. We were hoping it would be open back up because we did see a couple police cars heading the opposite direction as we came up here, but Randi read an update on Facebook groups saying that there unfortunately was a fatality with the accident. So somebody didn't make it. Very sad. I guess they're waiting on the coroner, which could be a while. So we might be sitting here for quite some time.
I see traffic from the other direction coming now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they're
stopped when we got here, but now they're moving.
Maybe they're flagging people through.
Simply.
Well, that would be nice if it's not too long of a wait. We still have just over 5 hours to go to get to our destination. It's currently showing an arrival time of 4:13. Of course, it's going to be longer the longer we have to sit here and wait. But hopefully they're able to get some traffic movement here. All right, that's enough for now. We'll sit here and wait and I guess update at the next stop. We've been sitting here waiting for this wreck to get cleared out for about 4 hours. The Drive BC website does finally say that the road is clear, but they have not moved the cones yet. While we were sitting, we were chatting with a couple of bikers. We thought we'd let them sit in the back of the trailer for a little bit, get out of the cold, and sit down and relax, not have to stand on the side of the road there. But, well, nice gentlemen from Vernon, British Columbia. They're doing a ride to Alaska for Alzheimer's awareness. They said they were getting donations here. I guess there's just the QR codes. They don't have the full link on there. But they said it goes directly to the Alzheimer's Foundation. They don't do anything with the money at all. So sounds like a nice charity, nice thing that they're doing there.
Yeah.
Kim, that's not quite as long as a ride as we're doing, but on a motorcycle, that's got to feel like a lot longer. So hopefully we should be, yeah, very nice. And Raeleen got to sit on the adventure bike. What'd you think of that?
It was very cool.
Yeah.
Tipped over and scraped myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did get tipped over. Yeah. You had it. The guys were very nice, and it wasn't any damage to the bike, and she was okay. We helped them out with some tire stuff too. So yeah, it made the best of it. Sitting here. Uh-oh, now what does it say?
Now it says road closed.
Uh-oh.
Next update
at 6 p.m. Uh-oh. You might be coming back. All right. Well,
Oh no.
we might be sitting here another 3 hours. Thought it said it was clear.
Did. And then
Okay.
it changed.
Well, I guess we'll
Oh no.
have another update in a few hours. About 5 hours behind, thanks to that delay with the accident that shut down the highway a while back. But we just made it to Fort Nelson. Was not planning on having fast food tonight. We should have been to the campground in plenty of time to set up and cook some dinner. But because of that delay, since we needed to stop and gas and bathroom, it didn't fill up all the way. The pump shut off, but it didn't fill up all the way. I just noticed that.
Oh no.
We thought we'd stop in and grab some McDonald's since it was right next to the gas station. And they had some different things on the menu that we don't have in the U.S. Even McDonald's has poutine.
I know.
And it was actually pretty good. It's pretty good.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they have, what are they? McShaker fries.
Yeah. Some different drink options that were pretty good too. Like, kids are not thrilled with the ban on plastic in at least British Columbia here.
Oh, and they had, I got a garlic parmesan quarter pounder.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. Well, we still have 3 hours of driving left. We're going to get there just after 10 p.m. We did call and tell them, hey, we are still coming because the confirmation email said that they're only there until 10, but they said they're actually going to be there until midnight tonight. So they'll still be there for us to check in, but we should get back on the road.
that is finally the end of day 12. Super long day because of a very long, unexpected delay. So we left at 8. We left our last campground about 8. We should have arrived here sometime between 4 and 5 p.m. However, due to that 5-hour delay for the very unfortunate fatal accident that closed down the Alaska Highway, backed things up for a long time. Took us much longer than expected. What do you guys think of the drive today? Awful. Long. So, not counting the long delay, really only the last, I'd say, 2 hours of the drive were really interesting. Once we finally got into the mountains, about 2 hours before we got to our destination, beautiful views. Unfortunately, the sun was going down. I would have loved to have been able to take our time a little bit more there and stop and take some pictures and things along the way, but we were losing daylight. We didn't really have time for that. But we got to the Northern Rockies Lodge, and what were you surprised to see when we got here? Yeah, there's float planes or seaplanes docked on Muncho Lake here. This is the first time that we have actually been awake late enough to see sunset. Sorry, we've gotten up very early to see sunrise a few times, but we have not stayed up for sunset. The sunset on Muncho Lake was absolutely gorgeous. We saw a lot of it driving in, and we got to the campground and lodge here right after sunset, but still in time to catch some beautiful colors on the lake and snap a couple quick pictures of the plains with the sun setting behind them and the reflection of the mountains and the lakes. And lots of pretty colors and things like that. So, what wildlife did we see today?
A bison.
We saw, so I think that was the first wildlife we saw, was a whole bunch of bison. Yeah, so there was a lot of bison right after Fort Nelson. So we saw some of the recent fire damage in the Fort Nelson area. We did talk to a woman from Fort Nelson while we were in that long delay waiting for them to clean up the accident and reopen the highway. It said that they had just been allowed to return a couple of weeks ago to Fort Nelson. The whole town was evacuated due to the fires. We actually thought we were going to have to take an alternate route to get to our destination in Alaska here. But luckily, the fires were under control and no longer a threat to the highway and the town. So townsfolk were allowed to return. It doesn't sound like anybody got hurt or anything in the fire. There was some property damage, about 10 structures, they said, were damaged, but it didn't sound like anything was a total loss. So glad for those people, and they're very fortunate that it wasn't a lot worse than it was. It's sad that they had to evacuate their homes for a period of time due to the fires. It was good that they were able to get back relatively quickly and things are open back up. But it was kind of neat to see the fire control measures that they had put in place to protect the town. So all along the highway, you could see fire breaks that they had dug, and they actually still had some backhoes and equipment on the side of the highway for digging the fire breaks along the highway and around some of the buildings. I think the rain that we've been driving through, it rained on and off all day, has really been helping with keeping the fires in the area under control and from spreading any further, and actually putting some of them out, I believe. So it did clear up here and there, but yeah, quite a bit of rain in today. Hopefully tomorrow's a nicer day. Tomorrow's going to be much more relaxed. You guys can sleep in. I'll let you sleep in to make up for the really long day today. I can tell you're ready to pass out, or we're falling asleep in the truck on the lake here. And we're going to try and do some laundry at the lodge here. But the big thing that we got planned for tomorrow is heading up a little bit further north in just the truck. We'll leave the trailer here to spend at least half a day, hopefully, at the hot springs, enjoying the hot springs. Get to swim in a natural hot tub, basically. Hot springs, the second largest hot spring in Canada. What do they need to do, Daniel?
Yes, like and subscribe.
There. Maybe if you do it, it'll make him a little bit happier in the next one. Mostly he's just tired. He's ready to pass out. Do what he said, because we got a lot more coming up. We're only on the end of day 12 out of 30 of our Alaska road trip. We did the first 425 miles of the Alaska Highway here. It really, again, wasn't until the last 2 hours of the trip where we hit what you would really imagine the Alaska Highway to be like. Like before that point, like, wow, this is a really nice road. You know, there was some up and down and some steep grades and whatnot, but it was a very well-maintained road in pretty populated areas. And then once we got to the mountains, then we got to, you know, what I personally, I think you probably as well, have pictured in your mind as this is the Alaska Highway. A little bit rougher surfaces mixed here and there. What about those bridges?
No. No.
She really didn't like the bridges, and the kids didn't care for them too much either. So they're steel grate, like almost like cow grate bridge, and they have warning signs
Oh my god,
coming up to them.
hilarious.
It's like a motorcycle guy bouncing around on the sign, and the bridges are pretty bouncy, but a lot of steep up and down, a lot of winding around the mountains. But again, absolutely beautiful, just very lush green at the beginning, and then, you know, a few other still snow-capped peaks as we got further in and closer to the lake here. I can't wait to see more of the drive and actually get to see it more in daylight and not be towards darkness in the next few days as we continue on to Alaska. So as always, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.